On the Newshour tonight, with me in the studio is Pooja Marwa, CEO of CRY, Shazia Elmi of the Aam Aadmi Party joins me tonight. Uday Singh is Lok Sabha Member of Parliament of the BJP. He's joining us from Delhi. Dr. Chandan Yadav is spokesperson of the Bihar Pradesh Congress Committee from Patna. Annie Koshi is principal of St. Mary's School in Delhi. Thank you very much. Pawan Verma, my first question is to you. You know, the terrible part of all this is the lack of genuine remorse in the political class, especially that in your state. And they attempt to then politicize it very quickly, to give a political spin to it, to avoid any sense of responsibility. Where did this come from? Do you genuinely believe that your party, which you represent today, will get away with this? That people will forgive you for this?
No, Arnab, let me clarify straight away to you. This is not...
Oops, losing the line there. I'm sorry, I just lost the line there with... Is he back? Are you back? Yes, sir. Continue. If you're back. If you can hear me, please continue.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please continue. Let's get your view.
Can you hear me? No, I was saying this is not the time to play politics over this terrible tragedy or even to defend it mechanically. Let me state that at the outset to you, Arnab. I think the facts of the matter is that
I'm again lost the line there.
To 2 crore children, the largest such program perhaps in India. For the first time you've had a case of not food poisoning, but poisoning. We need to wait for the investigations to reveal what exactly has happened and also to draw the right inferences from what has happened on how we can improve.
No. You see, Pawan, Mr. Verma, this, you see, I'll tell you, that's a fig leaf. It's a fig leaf. I'm sorry to say that I've heard this through and through all through the day. This is not the time to do finger pointing. This is not the time to be accusatory. This is the time to learn the right lessons into how this does not happen in the future. And I'm sorry to say this straight on your face, Pawan Verma. But this is the kind of answer you're giving today, is the kind of answer every politician gives after every tragedy, every time. And you forget the fact that that your states are required to set up steering monitoring committees at the state, district and block level to monitor implementation of this program. So the responsibility is yours. And it is not anyone else but your education minister who politicized it. So let's put the facts absolutely straight and clear on this one. I'd now like to go across to Uday Singh, Member of Parliament of the BJP. That's a fact.
Arnab.
No. Pawan Verma,
Arnab, you made an accusation. Can I answer it? Can I answer it then?
Well, if you feel it's an accusation, I don't think it is, but please go ahead.
No, because you are saying that we are trying to put a fig leaf on it. Arnab, please understand that what has happened should not have happened. I concede that. All I was trying to do was to put it in perspective.
Well, your perspective is that this is the first time a calamity of this kind has happened. It was waiting to happen. Let's get Pooja Marwa in. You know, does this impress you, this defense, Pooja Marwa?
I think we've, recently we've just completed a study of schools across the country. And one of the key things we studied was the midday meal scheme. And so there is a structure put in place by which you are supposed to monitor the midday meal scheme. And we found that, for example, there's a large percentage of schools where, though the kitchens are separate, there is no provision for storage. And that's been pointed out again and again at local levels. It's pointed out by civil society at local, at national levels, saying if we are going to put such a large scheme for feeding children into place, we need to make sure there are health, security and safety standards. We have found that water is not available even on the school premises in almost 50% of the cases in North India. I don't have specific figures for a state, but in the whole of North India, clean water is not provided. And then we are seeing, today through the day we have seen, from last year, we are seeing cases of where children are either the food is contaminated and therefore they're sick, or the water is contaminated. As we speak today, we've seen a case in Maharashtra where the water is contaminated. So really, I think the key question I would like to ask politicians and the government of this country is, are we interested in children at all? Are we considering that we need to take care, we need to take action? And once something happens, 1 year later, can the same thing happen?
No, the answer is very simple. I don't think India's politicians are interested in children. They are interested in using children as political fodder. Shazia, I'm coming to you. But, Uday Singh, parties like yours, you're interested in using these kind of cases as political fodder. Because now it's been 4 weeks since you broke away with the JDU. So now you'll start pointing fingers at the JDU. You'll say nothing in what happened in Goa or Madhya Pradesh. Isn't it unfair? It's terrible. It's terrible what the JDU minister did, but it's also terrible what your party has been doing, politicizing it within minutes. You politicized it.
Arnab, I've been on 3 or 4 channels today talking about this terrible tragedy. And I've said it on all channels and I'm repeating it on yours, that I don't even know how on a day like this any of us can be talking of doing politics with each other or trying to absolve ourselves of the responsibility. As far as the BJP is concerned, BJP has been a part of the NDA government in Bihar, and therefore everything that has happened in Bihar till the time that we left it, there's a joint responsibility. But having said that, let me tell you exactly what happened to the midday meal scheme, and it is a tragedy waiting to happen every other day. Bihar now has a Bihar model of inclusive corruption. And Mr. Verma must have heard this from me earlier. Bihar is now a model of inclusive corruption, which has been institutionalized. And Mr. Nitish Kumar probably wants to flaunt this as the Bihar model of development. Whether it is a midday meal scheme or the infrastructure in schools,
1 second.
Bihar is in a
Mr. Verma, Mr. Uday Singh, Mr. Uday Singh, 1 minute, please. You begin by saying we won't politicize it, then answer my question. No, 1 second. I don't know what lecture you've given on other channels. I'll ask you the question on this channel. I'm asking you today. No, I will bring you to the point today because children have died. 1 minute. The question is this. If there is a Bihar model of corruption, then you were part of the Bihar model of corruption till 4 weeks back. If there is a Bihar model of corruption, then you were in party to it. When the planning commission blamed you, you were part of it when the HRD ministry blamed you.
We cannot deny it.
Then what are you blaming Nitish Kumar for? First say I take responsibility.
I am
Do you take responsibility?
Because he is the chief minister.
Do you take
and he has to take the onus.
And who was the deputy chief minister till 4 weeks back?
Absolutely. As a political party, we were part of it 4 weeks ago. We have to take responsibility. How can we run away from our responsibility? But I said it even when we were part of the government.
We've seen through this cherry picking.
I have said it, Arnab, that we have said, I have said it publicly, that the corruption levels in Bihar are unsustainable.
Sir,
and things like this will happen.
You know something, 1 minute. Inaction has been shared by you. You have been in power since 2005. What were you doing till now? What were you doing? Playing the violin. Let's be very clear on this. You were doing nothing on this.
Answer.
Please, Mr. Uday Singh, now people are seeing through these things, and I'm sorry, it's getting people very angry indeed. Shazia wants to say something to you.
Let me tell you, while my party must take responsibility, I cannot defend them.
No, you all take partial. You don't take, all of you, all the political parties come here and they lecture the media, but the fact is all political parties do not own up.
Oh.
Children have died, and Uday Singh, let me tell you, in any other country in the world, on this planet, 22 children die like this? Or children are, you find lizards in midday meal schemes and rats and snakes and nobody is responsible?
No, you
and you think the political class, the governing class thinks it will fool the people of this country and the media by saying, putting some statistics out, and the fact is all of you have never come together and said this is a national calamity. Because you know what? These children are not a vote bank for you. Shazia is saying something here. Shazia.
True. Yeah, I didn't want to get into, make a political point, but I just want to ask Mr. Uday that till 4 weeks back he was part of the government and now he calls Bihar government a model of inclusive corruption. But I'm not interested in that. In light of sanitation, standards of our country, in light of sanitation standards of our country, in light of the fact that half of Indians don't have access to drinking water, clean, potable drinking water, in light of the fact that half of the Indians don't have a place to defecate and have to resort to open toilets, in light of the fact that calamities and tragedies after tragedies, you just rattled off figures for infant mortality, for female mortality, you rattled off figures for child nutrition. I want to know, this is a bigger question, and this is a question I want to ask, should we be interested as an agenda for a country in wanting to know who's a born Hindu, who's a converted Buddhist, who's a patriotic Muslim?
Exactly.
And this is the majoritarianism, minoritism. We don't want to know. I'm sorry, we're not interested in this vote bank politics.
Exactly.
It's exactly this vote bank politics, this identity politics that has led to lack of governance.
I say
the land mafia, led to water tank mafia.
Why do you bring this up? Please ask the
led to midday meals mafia.
Please ask Mr. Nitish Kumar's party.
All the parties, I'm sorry. Not just one party, all the parties, I'm sorry.
I say this today.
We as citizens need to know as to...
I say this. I want to go. I want to get Annie Koshi, Dr. Chandan Yadav. I'll come to you, but I also want to get the non-political voices, because you know what is coming out today. And in case you are just joining this broadcast, I want to quickly recap over the pictures of what has happened in Chhapra before I go to Annie Koshi. The incident in Chhapra is so shocking that because of consuming pesticides mixed with their food, 22 children have died. These are all children below the age of 10. They were studying in between classes 1 to 5. So they're really small children. Among the dead are 2 children of a woman cook of the midday meal project. It cannot get worse than this. Following this, there has been another incident in Madhubani where 15 children have fallen sick. Now I will play out the pictures from Dhule in Maharashtra, where 35 children have fallen sick because they were given contaminated water, and that's the level of medical care these children are getting. You know, the child is taking a child to hospital. That's the level of medical care. He's holding the drip in those pictures, and they are made to lie on the floor completely unattended, and a shameless blame game is on. And I say here today, while we put this story out, Annie Koshi, that a lot of callers here on the Newshour are telling us today, let the people of this country decide what the political agenda for 2014 is going to be. Let it not be some ridiculous minority, majority, you're a Hindu, I am a Muslim, I am a Buddhist, who is a born what kind of a debate. You know, let us bring the issues that really matter. And Annie Koshi, do you think an incident like this can be a wake-up call? Do you think we need to snatch the agenda back? What would you put on top of the agenda for the political class today after this incident?
You know, when one listens to what is being said, what one is aware of, that everybody tries to get into the generalities of things. Where are the specifics? We're talking of specific children. They've got names. And I really want to know who was the man who actually procured that rice, that grain that was contaminated. There are names to these people. We do not want politicians to stand up and say, oh, we are sorry. Great, we've heard this before, but what's being done after that is the question. Across the country, that we are finding children. I mean, from Uttarakhand onwards, where are the children? What's being done for them? Who is the person who got that rice? Whether you've got storage or not storage, you took on the responsibility of giving meals. I don't want the politician to tell me something. There was a system in place to get the rice to the children. Can we trace those personal names up? Not some vague fellow sitting somewhere as an MP saying, we take responsibility for what has happened. Now we are going to make some kind of a survey of what happened. You mean this hasn't happened before? You're still waiting to do a survey? Who was the man who gave money or the kickback to get that contaminated food stuff onto that child's plate? Let him be answerable. Let him say who took it from him.
Good point.
And let them all stand up and say something.
Well, we all back you on that. because these are the generalities behind which Pawan Verma today, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, Pawan Verma, these are the generalities you're putting out which are unacceptable. And we put this question back to you. Where are the specifics? You can't say today we'll have a long investigation. Don't blame the political class. Given and these children have died because they were hungry. Because they were hungry. That's their fault.